Hey guys, this is Michaela from Shine Your Light Brightly 1111. I hope you're all doing well. We are, about to have the full moon here tonight, the full moon in Gemini, and so I thought I'd do a little reading. I'm back, but I'm not fully back. I work full time, and it's like I can't do readings all the time, but I will appear from time to time. And the moon cycles are for sure um, one reason to come. And I will see what my time allows and my energy. So when I do readings, I want to be there for you with my full attention, with my full energy. So welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you are here for some time. And I want to, say really a huge thank you to the ones who welcomed me back and really are there still, even though I was gone for really many years. So thank you for your warm welcome back. And I hope you're all doing well. And it really feels good to be back, even though, again, I can't come back the way I want to. But as I've said in the first reading, it wasn't planned yet anyways. But I mean, you have to find a way to find balance somehow, right? So I'm usually someone who is fully invested, and that's not always possible. But I think when I give it a reading from time to time, as I can, that's cool too. So full moon in Gemini this time. So full moon in general triggers us to feel deep. What means buried emotions, old feelings, past regrets might be brought up to the surface. Full moon also allows us to rewrite our stories and clear the way for our desires. So we all tell ourselves stories about ourselves, others, everything actually. This special full moon in Gemini causes our mind to race, actually. So you might feel uneasy, worries may come up or get more intense if you worry anyway. But it can also open our minds, bring new perspectives, help us to rewrite our story. If we are willing to flow with this energy, it can give us what we need to break through old patterns, outdated thinking. Gemini rules the house of communication, what sometimes leads to oversharing. So be a bit aware of that these days. Again, we tell ourselves stories about everyone and everything all the time. It helps us to process the world around us and form expectations that make life feel more controllable, or at least predictable, maybe. What makes us feel safe, but also limits us. So it closes our minds for the new opportunities. But the good thing is you can rewrite your story all the time, really at any time. All it needs is a shift of perspective, and Gemini can provide this. It can provide just the inspiration you need to break out of old patterns and be open for the new. And what usually can happen through these days when the full moon is in Gemini is that you might get some information, a little inspiration. It can be something little. It can be a sentence that someone says around you, or a friend calls or sends you a text message, and there is something in. Be really aware of the little things these days. Some words, something you see, that can be the inspiration you need to actually move forward. We also have Sagittarius in the sun. What's the opposing sign here to Gemini? That also has a huge impact, but I'm no astrologer, so leave that to the ones who really know what they talk about. But what I can say is that these days are maybe more about listening than talking. So listen more carefully to those around you. And remember that no one really has all the answers. Everyone has something to teach and so valuable to share. So we can be a bit judgmental these days. So Spirit guided me to do a full moon reading about rewriting the story. So the question we ask today is, what story do you need to rewrite, or you should rewrite to live to your highest potential? They already told me which cards to use, so we will see. I've already cleared the energy, set the intentions. I never do this on cam because my videos are usually quite long, so we don't need half an hour longer when you watch me preparing for the readings. So, Spirit, what is it that my collective on YouTube here should rewrite? Which story is not the one anymore that's serving? Let's see. Whoa, have you seen that? That message wanted to come out here very badly. I don't read the reversals here. Look at that. I was kind of feeling it will be about love, so this card is called Love. So obviously it's about love. Spirit immediately tells me that you should go back and reevaluate what love even means to you. So at some point you might have, made your mind up of what love means to you, how a relationship should look like, what you expect from a partner, or wish from a partner, I should say. And that might have changed because you have changed. So it's really about, in the first place, to go within and think about what is it truly that you wish for in love, of your partner, of the relationship. What does love mean to you? And it doesn't even have to be only about romantic love, right? I mean, love is all around us. We love our friends, our family, of course. We should love ourselves too, not to forget. Let's get a bit more. They tell me that you really did a lot of work on yourself. So you went within, you did even shadow work, you faced your fears, you've grown a lot. So when we go through spiritual awakening or ascension, our perception changes. We change. And so do our wishes and desires. But sometimes we still have these old stories that we were telling ourselves. So especially for the ones of you who maybe hold on for a very long time to someone you're not with, or Spirit just added that. I wanted to say, if you are together with someone for a long time where you just have the feeling it's not anymore what you need, But also for the ones, yeah, where, you know, when you are in separation and you were kind of waiting for the progress here, really go within and look if that is even still what you want. So just one card, Spirit, and you give me so much information. So let's go ahead and get some more. So we have the Eagle. So you will soar towards your destiny with greater clarity and strength. I have the Lovers underneath. They told me to look at the bottom here. In this deck, it's not like the Lovers in Tarot. So it tells you here there are two paths ahead. Be true to yourself. Exactly. So it's always up to you. You know, even in, I know that I had a lot of subscribers back then, which were in difficult soul connections. So, but it's still always up to you. So this just confirms it, right? So it's up to you here. Two paths ahead. But also, Spirit is pointing out again, the ones who are together with someone for a long time and unhappy, of course, only if you're unhappy. You know, if you already feel like, and maybe just stay out of, you know, because you're used to, or of whatever reasons you might have. There are so many, I don't need to mention them all. So it's really a time to reevaluate your relationships, reevaluate what love means to you, get a higher perspective here maybe with the Eagle, and also calm the mind so that you can see clearly, because when we overthink, for example, our mind, our vision is cloudy. Trust into your strength, your inner wisdom, your guidance, your intuition. The Spirit tells me the word waiting. For the ones of you who are really waiting for someone, don't wait. Don't waste your time while waiting. I heard so many stories, guys, of people who was sitting alone at home in love with someone who's not available, waiting for a change here. They are living their lives. I know that's hard, but Spirit wanted me to point that out. And my heart is aching now. Oh God, as an empath, I feel that. My heart is so heavy right now. Take a deep breath. Let go. Full moons are also about letting go of everything that's not serving. So not just rewriting stories, just in general. Really do a little ritual here. Write down what you want to let go of and burn it. And let go. Holy moly. So, my dears, now I get teary. Guys, don't do this to me. So what else, Spirit? Okay. What do we have here? Victim consciousness. No, you are no victim. Loves. Let go of that shit. That can please be on the paper. Write it down. No one on this planet is fated to suffer. It's your birthright to be abundant. It's your birthright to be happy. But you have to, first of all, the Spirit points out self-love. You have to love yourself. You have to know that you're deserving. No one is fated to suffer. If you suffer your whole life, it's a decision. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. So I know that I sometimes sound like, I figured it all out. I'm just one of you. I'm on my path. If I sound very like, do it, it's either because I already was there and really know it, or Spirit tells me to point it out very clear. Because sometimes, if, especially in situations like this, when we really need to let go of something, it's not really helpful if someone comes to you and says, you have to let go, my dear. That's not serving you anymore. It goes in to the left ear and out of the right, and it you don't really recognize what I did say. She even said something. So that's why I sometimes sound like, you have to let go of that. That's not serving you. So you know what you have to rewrite here. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be loved. It's time now to let go of everything that's not serving, everything that's limiting you and your happiness and your abundance. They tell me to repeat, no one is fated to suffer. I thought that too. They have to face the world alone. What else? Wow. Endless possibilities. If you stay in an unhappy situation, it doesn't matter what it is for you. Obviously, it's about love. That's what we got. But if it's about self-love for you, for example, then it might be in all areas of your life. If you don't love yourself, if you think you're fated to suffer, if you are in that victim consciousness, you might also suffer in the areas of career, money, friendship, whatever. But it is a decision. And to not make a decision is also a decision. Spirit gets deep here again. Yeah, so at the bottom we have the higher view again. We got that with the eagle already. So it's really important that you might be too close at the moment with you have the tunnel vision. So you have to kind of also emotionally too close for some of you. So it's really important that you take a step back and look at it from different angles to get the bigger picture here. They show me the Hanged Man from Tarot, what would be about the change of perspective and the bigger picture. you might feel stuck in a situation. That's also what the Hanged Man is about. But you are stuck for a reason, because your perception needs to change. And I said it at the beginning, so we can rewrite our story, but what it needs is a different perspective, a shift of perception. And sometimes just a little hint, a little something that someone said. If you have someone you truly trust, that you really can open up to, and where you really also trust into their words when they give you advice or when they give you their opinion on a situation. Talk to them about what's going on for you and why you are in that situation and why you stay in that situation. I hear someone of you, maybe not just one, but I hear now, no one understands me. No one can get me here and understand what it is. There will always be someone who can. But yeah, I know that sometimes it's difficult, because what you really don't want at that time in a situation like this is to hear someone saying or judging you for, for being there. We all have our own path to walk. We all have a different pace of learning, of seeing things clearly. Let's get some tarot on it too. So not everyone has the compassion for the other one's journey. That's what I wanted to say. I see that every time again, and it's really annoying. Our world would be quite a better place if we would have more compassion for each other. What else? Yeah, look at that, 5 of Pentacles. So feeling left out in the cold, but this is a tarot card that is about victim consciousness, the consciousness of lack. But it's your decision, 2 of Pentacles here. It's a choice. Even though you might, yeah, I know, you don't need to give me here. I know what you're thinking, but I tell you, it is a choice. Six of Swords. 6 of Swords is the card of leaving stormy waters behind and moving on to calmer waters. Swords are representing mental energy, so it's about calming the mind. So meditation could help here. Breath work, I hear. I hear yoga, because it's also, we have a lot of water here, and because he's on a boat, right? Water represents emotions, so to calm not just the mind, but also the emotions. Yoga could help, because it's in general, just for some of you. I hear some of you did, but, don't do it anymore, so maybe it's time to get back to that. And meditation, they tell me, it's not enough to do it once a month. Yeah, you can be victorious here. Six of Wands, the card of victory and success. But they point out it can also be the card of ego and pride. So our ego is nothing negative. Not in essence. It's there to protect us. So the ego steps in, for example, if we had a heartbreak, we got hurt in love, for example, because we have the topic love here. So let's just take that as an example here. And kind of the same situation occurs in our lives. Then the ego steps in, like, caution, caution, warning, warning, stop, stop. You will end up hurting again. Don't you remember this situation? That's what the ego is doing. It reminds you of the situations where you got hurt and tries to prevent you from getting hurt again. But of course, the ego, especially the pride part, sometimes we wrote our story. Yeah, that's what this reading is about. Which story do you need to rewrite? And don't say it's not possible, because it is. Of course, you can't just change your life from completely from today to tomorrow. But as within, so without. When you change your perception, the way you think, the way you feel, when you take necessary steps, you can see. And it's true. I've seen it so many times for myself, and everyone who is a bit into law of attraction will know too. And you see it each and every day, because we are manifesting from our thoughts and emotions, from our energy all the time, positive as negative stuff. So when you change your inner world, your outer world will change. Again, it won't happen overnight, but it will. But sometimes we wrote a story in the past and told us the story, maybe over years or even decades. So of course, it's more difficult to change a story that is there for decades than one that I wrote 6 months ago. That's easy to rewrite. But when we wrote a story decades ago or 10 years ago and told us this one over and over again, it becomes a belief and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, but what I feel here with the pride is that, no, I know it's right that way. It is that way, it was always that way, and I can't change that. But that's not true. Don't underestimate your own power to co-create your life. And time is much too precious to waste in unhappy situations. The Empress at the bottom. The Empress is amazing. The Empress energy is very grounded. She trusts her intuition fully. She is abundant. She's not chasing anything. She has that full faith and trust that everything that belongs to her will find a way to her. She's in the receptive mode. She's nurturing. Nurture yourself in the first place. And by staying in unhappy situations, it doesn't matter what area of your life, to stay in an unhappy situation for too long so that you suffer in silence. They show me a person who really sits in the dark at night and cries themselves into sleep and waking up all the time, really suffering in that silence, and the whole day showing off a smile, going on with their lives. That's not good. I get teary again, so let's shuffle. Let this go, guys. It's too precious. But you have to, first of all, nurture yourself here. Yeah, okay. I'm not surprised to see the Devil's energy. So in this deck, it's called the Shadow Side. So maybe it's also time to face shadows here, to get out of the pride energy here. But again, the Six of Wands is the card of victory and success. Spirit just pointed out that it's also a bit pride in the way here. For some of you, of course, not. This is a general reading, so only take what resonates and get rid of what doesn't. Never make anything fit. I should have said that at the beginning. I'm a bit out of practice with doing readings on YouTube, as you might see. But yeah, the devil's energy is about toxic behavior. Of course, it can be about many things. Negative thought patterns, limiting beliefs, addictions. Again, any kind of toxicity. But because it's called here the shadow side, it's maybe the first thing is to get that higher perspective that we got twice, to look at yourself and your situation, and to reevaluate it, and also to, at least for a few minutes, do me the favor, or do it to yourself actually, do yourself the favor to get out of pride and ego. To consider that the stories that you told yourself for a long time might be not serving you, that your situation, and if then thoughts are coming up like, well, but I have to stay in the situation because ... whatever it is for you, stop that for that moment. Really just take a few minutes, closing your eyes, go within and look at your situation and admit to yourself that it's not a good thing. Don't go into solutions or why you can't do things. It is always a decision. You can always do everything. Endless possibilities. We got the card. But of course you have to believe that you deserve it. You have believed that it's possible. This is also a story that you tell yourself. I can't because. That's also a story that you can let go of, because it's not serving. So one last round here. We have the High Priest at the bottom. What's the Hierophant? Yeah, the Hierophant is about values, spiritual beliefs or religion, whatever it is for you. Can be about marriage too, about faith for sure, integrity. Integrity. Spirit is pointing that out. So integrity is, for some of you, obviously a very important thing. So you might stay in a situation out of responsibilities and integrity. Well, yeah. I hear reputation. Again, don't get me wrong, I am someone who has a lot of compassion for other one's situations. But I am here, my mission in life, yeah, is to show people their shadow sides. I trigger them, actually. So I'm not a person who is usually surrounded by many people who love who love me. Um, but it's my mission, unfortunately, sometimes. Um, but I know in the end I see them grow, so that's cool. My mission is to show you when you're living not to your full potential, and to stay in a toxic situation, again, whatever it is for you, you don't do yourself or anyone around you a favor. For example, if you stay, I had a friend who did stay in a marriage for the children, and many people do that, right? I can't leave here, I can't leave my children left out in the cold here. um, but when you're unhappy, your relationship gets unhappy. When you just live on autopilot next to each other, try to avoid conversation, do you think the children don't sense that? Do you think that's a happy home? Do you really think your children don't feel that even if you laugh when you, for example, sit there on Christmas? Christmas is close. On the Christmas, at dinner at Christmas, um, and laugh and play happy family, that they don't sense that it's not true? Never underestimate how children are sensing their parents' energies. And I saw many separations of, doesn't matter if marriage or committed relationships, which separated with children, and where the children have happy parents then because they have either new partners or living their happy single life. Um, to be in self-love and do what's good for you has nothing to do with being selfish. It is essential to be there for others. If you don't love yourself, if you're not happy in your own life with yourself, with your situation you live in, you can't give to others, you can't support others. You just can't. Not in a good way. All right, the Two of Cups, the Ten of Wands. So the Two of Cups would be, if we only take without what we have here and without the Ten of Wands, would be the Two of Cups, that beautiful relationship. Soulmate energy also. It's or in business, it can be a beautiful partnership, an abundant partnership. But because we have the topic love, so I pick up on relationships here of different kinds, but especially for the ones, no, in general, the Spirit points out, this is for everyone who is watching this reading and where the storyline resonates in some way. Whatever connection it is that you're holding on to, so if it's a marriage or committed relationship, or a connection in separation where you are waiting for the person, it's just a burden. The Ten of Wands is feeling burdened, overwhelmed, exhausted. I just look around because I have the feeling I need to give you more, but Spirit, can you give, I mean, we had advice, of course, included here, but would you please give some, okay, they tell me, okay, let's get 2 or 3 cards here. Again, the Empress. The Empress is the goddess. The High Priestess. Holy moly. So, okay, I get, so for the feminine energies who are watching this reading, you are the Empress and you are the High Priestess. This is huge, my dear ladies. You can trust your intuition fully. Ground yourself, nurture yourself. We had that message at the beginning. Spirit was pointing out that you did so much work on yourself. That you've outgrown that connection, whatever it is for you. But you might got so used to it. That's why you need to rewrite that story. So you can fully trust your intuition. With the High Priestess, you also balanced out light and shadow inside of yourself. You weren't afraid to look at the shadow. So you got here the advice from Spirit to look at your shadow in regards to maybe pride. Again, just for some of you. But trust in your own power. You are so powerful, my dears. For masculine energies who are watching this reading, you might have met someone new. Spirit was pointing out you found your Empress. And intuitively, you know that you found your Empress, your Divine Feminine. But you tell yourself you can't be with her. Spirit wanted me to use that deck. So we have the Sacred Temple. So this is a beautiful card. It shows us that you did a lot of spiritual work, or should do if you didn't. Spirit is pointing out that someone watching the reading wasn't that deep inside yet, wasn't doing that soul searching. So here it's more about the advice to do so, to go within. But the most of you did. So it's time to reap the fruits. This card can also indicate kind of a marriage of soul that's possible for you, but maybe not with the person you're with or you're waiting for. Don't hide your true self. Was the first message I got with the behind a mask. You hide your true self. The connection you're in or you're holding on to is limiting you. It's holding you back. I mean, this card can have different meanings, but I listen to Spirit. I'm an intuitive reader. I have to, first of all, also go into the meaning in regards to the question I did ask. So, and Spirit tells me you are hiding your true self. It's holding you back. So you limit your own power as the Empress and the High Priestess here. Connect with your higher self. Go into meditation. Your higher self has all the answers, can guide you. Listen to your heart. So I'm guided to give you one last message that I will read from the book. When I can find the book, Spirit. Funny. We've prepared the reading before. Why didn't you tell me before? Oh, sometimes you have to go with the flow. Always, I got. So last message, please, for today. I'm not sure if that's helpful, Spirit. Thinking of you, a loving thought, serendipity. So you can't tell the people that they have to let go. Okay, I hear, I got a book. I hear, it's 11 by the way, it's 29, that's up to 11. For some of you, there is someone else waiting, you know, who is on your level, but you're blocking yourself by staying in a connection, especially also the ones who are waiting for some. I know you might not sit there and wait. Spirit is always using the word waiting. Out of their perspective, it looks like waiting when you stop kind of living your life. And even if you go out with friends and have your business or your life, when you go home alone in the end and feel lonely then and thinking of them, oh, Spirit, I can't do that. Yeah, I know. Sometimes people need to hear a truth that they don't want to hear, but sometimes I'm not willing to give it. Let me find that here. See if I even can manage here to read today. This card is confirmation that someone you have been thinking of is also thinking of you. It may be someone who has passed away or a living friend, family member, or loved one. Our thoughts and feelings are energy frequencies or wavelengths that transcend space and time. We all transmit and receive information through our thoughts and feelings. It makes no difference whether someone is near or far, alive or has passed away. We are subconsciously in constant communication with those we think about and love. Having heard this, you probably imagine your thoughts traveling through space and time. However, in actuality, nothing really travels anywhere. This is because energetically or spiritually, there is no separation in the first place. We are all interconnected and ultimately one, eternally held within an ocean of divine love. The great cosmic ocean of life is as vast and endless as we can imagine it to be, and at the same time it can be smaller than the smallest particle. Affirmation: all I love lives forever in my heart. I am one with all humanity. I am one with all creation. I am in constant communion with everyone. Time and space are real only when I believe they are. Okay, for someone, it might even be someone who passed away you hold on to. So they wouldn't want that you suffer. Okay, now a lot of guilt comes through. Okay, I hear this is one person. So that is why it didn't came through in the reading. Even though I don't have that many viewers yet again. But for some of you, it is the new person. I got that at some point, that you've met already someone, but think you can't be with them because out of integrity and responsibility, you have to stay in an old connection. So there is that new person thinking of you. Well, you got kind of the advice here that you should reevaluate, first of all, what love means to you, how relationships should look like for you to make you happy. You should look at your current situation and be honest to yourself if there is something toxic in it, and believe that you can change an unhappy life to a happy life, that you deserve to be loved and happy, and that you're not fated to suffer. These were the main messages here. And I hope I could help you in some way. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful week and enjoy the full moon. See you. Bye bye.